Now that we've connected our Dynamics 365, let's go ahead and talk through some of our configuration choices. We have some parent level choices: personal settings, social profiles, global settings, user management, connections, and automation rules. We'll discuss each of those here in some detail, but most of those are covered throughout the course in the different things that we're learning to configure and to complete. Here you'll see we have our personal settings. Everything from language to timeframes to date and number format are available to us here. If we want to put an image icon up there for ourselves, it comes from our Office 365 account, so that profile synchronizes over here for those personal settings. Our social profiles, we've discussed some of those social profiles already and how we can use those to our advantage in social engagement. But just a quick reference point for you here, this is also where we review our acquisition token status, so that if we are having trouble getting posts in, we can confirm that we don't need to re-authenticate, and we can do that here. We have several different global settings available, and from here we're going to dive into just a couple of them for some details for you. Languages. Everyone always talks about the different languages that we have available, and there are many of them. We have several available for the UI, from English to Finnish to Russian to Turkish to traditional Chinese. Those are all available as items in the user interface. When it comes to sentiment detection, we have all of those available. In addition, we have Arabic. And then when it comes time to gathering of posts for most sources, we gather in all of these languages we've already discussed, in addition to Bosnian, Croatian, Hebrew, Serbian, Slovenian, and Thai. Location groups allow us to make groups of locations so that we can analyze location-specific data or language-specific data if that's how we're building our groups. Out of the box, we have several pre-made location groups available. Those are not editable. But then we also have the option to build our custom location groups. As you can see here in our screen capture, we have a location group based on countries that speak French. So we can have an analytics set up for French-speaking items, for sentiment in French-speaking countries, and so on. So let's go in and make that location group that we just saw. Here we are in our global settings area. Let's go have a look at these location groups. We have several that come out of the box with the different locations. Let's go ahead and build one of our own here. Let's build one for French-speaking areas. You'll see that we've got the default is the owning user, which is me. So let's add some countries. You'll see that it has an autocomplete feature for us. So we can add some French-speaking countries so that if we'd like to keep an eye on and see what things are happening perhaps in our French language constituencies, then we can see if maybe there are some actions we need to take, or if we need to have some customer service discussions or things of that nature. So keep these here for our French-speaking items. You'll see here that we now got it available to us in our location groups. Now that we have our location group defined, let's go to the analytics area, and then we'll look at locations and see where we can find the location groups so that we can look at the details based on location with the different insights that we might have available to us. So here we are right here in the analytics area, location, and then our location groups. So here we have user management. You did a little bit of this in one of your prior hands-on labs where you brought in new users and assigned them user roles. Now we'll learn a little bit more about those roles. We have configuration roles and we have interaction roles. So on configuration side, newly invited folks will be seen by admin, and they will be given their configuration role by the administrator, but they sit in this purgatory state until that happens. Analysts can view the data analytics and edit sentiment as well as managing alerts, and power analysts can do those things plus create and manage their own searches, location groups, and activity maps. Power analysts can create and edit their own searches, but not that of any others in the organization. When it comes to interaction rules, in general, readers can read posts in analytics but not edit any incoming data. Responders can interact with most things but not unlink records with Dynamics or manage streams. Only responders and managers can reply or post via the connected social accounts that we've been discussing. Connections, we've already done our connection to Dynamics from here, and we'll see throughout this course that we're making additional connections. We can build automation rules here where we can also, in addition to setting up rules and filters, set up failure notifications. So if something is not working as expected, we can get notified. So as you can see here, both our Event Hub and our link to Dynamics 365 are disabled because we've not yet made those connections. So we can't build automation rules for something that's not been connected. We can assign items to another MSE user based on criteria that we set here in this automation rule, or we can set labels, and those labels help us to manage a large stream of incoming data. So as a review, we talked about our different connected social sources, some that require authentication, some that are common, and then those custom ones through RSS and Atom feeds. We did our connection to Dynamics 365 and talked about the reasons why one might want to connect to Dynamics 365. And we talked through and did some configuration for some of our system and personal settings in social engagement. Now I encourage you to go now and work on the hands-on document for this module for connecting and configuring. In exercise 1, we talk about setting up connections. Exercise 2, we customize some settings. And in exercise 3, we work through some automation rules.